Today we're sewing coasters. I made a template one. This is what it looks like. So we're gonna try to make some more of these with some scrap fabric that I have, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm a beginner at sewing, so I don't know all the tips and tricks, but I figured I would just show you kind of my approach. These are pretty basic, so let me show you my process, how I approach it, and then how I end up making these. Because like I said, if you're a beginner like me, these are really easy to make. So this is the setup. It's not much, but it's what I've got. I'm borrowing this machine from a relative. It's one of these brother machines. I really like it. It's a sewing and an embroidery machine. I did embroider on it, but that's like when I was like learning how to use this machine, and now I've already forgotten how to embroider. So I'm gonna need to figure that out again because I want to make some other embroidery projects. But today we're not gonna focus on that. I have some scrap fabric here, jean material, I have cheetah print, some stripes, and then some like cow print. We're gonna take all of that, put it together, and like I said, create one of these. Now for this, something that you could do to make it like a little bit more sturdy is to put all of this on some interfacing and then put batting in between it and then sew it. I just have batting in between, and if you don't know what batting is, but essentially the batting is like the poofy stuff that you put like in quilts and things like that. So it's like I think like people call it like fiber fill, things like that. It just looks like a cotton, like a big cotton pad thing, and it helps to make it kind of squishy. I cut out the back, which the back of this already looks like ginormous, so I don't think I'll end up using all of this, but I cut out a square, and I'm just going to repeat that. And I'm going to use this as my template, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut squares for this too out of my other material, and then we'll be able to move on to the next step after that. There's definitely better ways to do this, but if you're a beginner and just starting out like me, just a pair of scissors and some scrap fabric is going to work out just fine. I get most of my fabric from the thrift store. Like this is a pair of old jeans, and this is a piece of scrap fabric. My aunt is a professional seamstress, and some of this fabric I got from her that she just doesn't need anymore. And like this fabric my mom used to sew a lot. We found that she had this too. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your pieces, you're going to take two of your pieces, and you're going to put them right sides together. And then, and by right sides I mean like the side that you want showing, right? The wrong sides are the back, but it's easier to say the right and the wrong side, I feel like, than saying the front and the back, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, whatever works best for you. So you place them together, and then you can pin it or clip it together, but I'm okay just like not doing that, just like keeping it how it is, and then you sew it together. It would help if I turned on the machine. It always makes that noise. I don't know why. Anyway, let's go ahead. Now, something I didn't know, I've been using a couple different machines while I've been learning how to sew, but you'll see on whatever machine you're using, the tension is usually like up here. I think you usually want it between like 3 and 4, still learning that. But then over here, if you have like a fancy machine, it tells you the width and the length. So let me click into it. So the width is like where the needle is sitting, and then the length is like how close the stitches are. You want the stitches, at least for this machine, I've been having issues with it. I've been doing stitches that are 4 millimeters just to kind of help it figure itself out, because the bobbin kept getting stuck. It's like a whole thing. And then 3 is dead center in the middle, so I always kind of switch that up. And then presser foot is down, and then you're good to go. Do some back stitching. This one's fancy. All you have to do is you have to make sure that the presser foot is down, and then you can press the scissors button and it cuts it for you. Lift the presser foot up, and then ta-da! You have a piece of your coaster figured out. So now just repeat with this one, and then we'll move on to the next step. And then same thing, you've got another piece sewn together. Now, not something that you have to do, but something I think I'm going to do is I'm going to iron them down flat just so that they lay a little bit better. So let me take you over to my super fancy ironing station. Again, I'm borrowing this iron from the same relative who's letting me borrow the machine. I think on my list of things to do when I go estate sale shopping is to look for an iron and an ironing board, because right now I'm just using a scrap towel. You just have to be careful, but if you can flatten that out, that helps a lot. Not something, again, that you have to do, but just something that I do. Oop. And this jean material, for whatever reason, likes to flip, so I'm going to set that to the side to cool. This one I have to be careful with because, like I said, it has some interfacing on it, and because it has this interfacing on it, it's the type that you iron on. So see, like, you can kind of see it coming apart there. You iron it on and it sticks to the material or the iron, so I just have to be careful with that. Always good practice to turn off your iron if you're not using it, or if you're really fancy and you have one of those irons that like turns off after a while, that's great, but this one obviously is a little bit older. So now back to our fancy station. Now you put the two sides together, line up the seams so that they're together. And again, you can clip this or pin it, but I think we'll be okay. Then I'm going to set it under the machine, like so. And then, ta-da! You have your little quilted pattern. So, you could iron that down again, but like I said, I was having issues with this piece, so I'm just gonna leave it be. My center is, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. The only person who's really gonna notice is you. So, I mean, if it bothers you, then you could stitch rip this and realign them, but it's not a big deal to me, so. Set that to the side. And this is the batting. See, it's kind of thick. Cotton, fiber, whatever. And then I'm just gonna line this up. And again, there's like a better way to do this if you have the tools, but if not, scissors works great. Then, once you have that, what you're gonna do is put the right sides together with that other, whoops, can't even see it, with that other piece of fabric that you cut out. And line it up. essentially, I don't know what I was thinking when I did this, but I think I just like made a square because you want it to be square. So that's like what I did. So I think I would make this smaller, but you do want to have some seam allowance as well. I might pin this just to hold it in place a little bit. Something else to keep in mind is sometimes this material, if you don't cover it with something else, like with another piece of material, it can get caught in the machine. So just be mindful of that. I'm going to see how it goes without having to worry about that, and we'll figure it out. Actually, I'm going to start kind of in the middle because I'm going to leave an opening here, and you'll see why in a minute. Pin out. So now you should have something that looks like this, and then like this, and like I said, I left this open because what you do is grab a corner. Oh, actually, before that, we're gonna cut some of these corners just so that we have a nice crisp edge. I'm gonna cut some of this off. Okay. Then you go in, grab a corner, flip it inside out. And then a lot of people have like a fancy tool. I just use like a pen. Obviously make sure it's not drawing anything. Then you can get those corners out. And you should have something that looks kind of like this, right? You've got an edge that is unfinished. Now what you can do is you could go back through and you could top stitch it, but I've been trying to do an invisible stitch just so it looks like a little bit more clean. But ta-da, they're pretty much the same size, which is good. I might iron this a little bit. This next part I'm not very good at, but we're learning together. So to do the invisible stitch, you're going to take a needle, sewing needle, and you're going to do some hand stitching. So choose a color. If I had a better one, oh, I would use it, but we're going to do blue to match the blue jeans. Then this part's always hard. Thread the needle, and then I would say it doesn't, I don't know what the right amount is, so you just kind of guess, but I would do longer than you think that you'll need. So you do this, line them up, create a knot, double knot it, like so. No idea if you could see that. But you're gonna go in, and I could be doing this completely wrong, so if somebody else knows better, let me know, but this is just kind of what I've been doing. You're gonna go in to where that seam is, come out, then I push the little tail down in there, just so I don't have to worry about it. And then you're going to take some material on one side, go through it, come out, then you're going to take, whoa, some material on the other side, go through it, and it should kind of start seaming that up. I'm going to stuff this down there. And then you just do that all the way through until you get to the end. Then once you get to the end, you go through the seam again, give a little pull. I'm going to go through it again. Come through, then I'm going to try to create a knot. Go through the loop. Perfect. Great. Then come back through, go all the way through if you can, through that seam. Come back through, and then you can kind of play with it a little bit. Then you cut that off. Ta-da! That is hidden for the most part. I am gonna iron it down again, see if I can hide some of those things. Like I said, I'm not perfect at this. I'm still learning, so. And there we have it, another coaster. Yay! So now I'm gonna try to make more of these to kind of match it to be like a set of 4. listening to my book and I realized I did this wrong. I was supposed to put the fiber fill on this side because if I were to try to flip it through, the outside would be the fiber fill. So now I have to stitch rip the whole thing. I finished making the coasters. Let me show you. That's how they turned out. I think they're really cute and great use of scrap fabric if you're looking to make a project with it. It's super beginner friendly and is something that I think I'll probably keep doing, especially for the farmer's market, and because I'm planning to sell some things at the farmer's market this summer. So I think that those are a really nice addition. And anyway, I think I'm gonna end the video here because it's time for me to go for a walk. So I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks so much for following along and I'll see you then. Bye.